What is wealthy franchisee service? That is an experience that we remember, that we talk about, and want to repeat. It's not an experience that's just cheap. It's not an experience that meets my expectations. It's one that exceeds my expectations, that recognizes my humanity. The operational piece is what they get. That's coming to your restaurant, that's getting pancakes, it's getting a meal. That's what they get. But there's a human side of that, and that is how they feel. And earlier we all agree that how people feel is what matters most. The problem is customers don't tell us the emotional need. They don't show up and say, "Hi, I'd like you to leave me excited and fulfilled with a warm feeling in my heart." They don't say that. They're like, "I'd like a table for 4. I'd like to get some eggs in a short stack." People talk in terms of operation, but what really makes an impression is the emotional experience. But the only way we can create a memorable emotional experience is to remember what business we're really in. At Edible Arrangements, I thought I was in the fruit basket business. So the first question I trained my employees to ask was, how many people do you want to feed? But after a few years, I realized people weren't calling because they were hungry. They were calling because it was Valentine's Day, a birthday, an anniversary. And that's when I realized eventually we're in the celebration business. That change in philosophy changed our conversations and directly impacted sales. I retrained my employees. Instead of asking how many people you want to feed, what's the occasion? Then we discussed the occasion. Congratulations, that's so exciting. How much of an impression do you want to make? Do you think she'd like her strawberries dipped in chocolate? We would talk about the emotional experience, and it meant much bigger tickets. I also realized we're in the reassurance business. Hey, she leaves at 2 o'clock, you're gonna get it there on time, right? Our party starts at noon, we've got to have the basket. So part of what we need to do is to make that promise to them. I know that party starts at noon, we're gonna get it there by 11, I'm gonna personally make sure it happens. Or I'd have a driver call us and say, hey, the person signed for it, she started screaming. So I could call the sender and say, hey, just want you to know, she got her arrangement at 10:30, she was screaming with excitement. The senders love that. We weren't meeting their fruit basket need, we identified and met the emotional need, and that's what turned our customers into repeat customers. Because I realized what business we were really in. And it was not part of the operation, it was not what our corporate office taught us, it's what I realized. And when we went there, when we became an emotionally satisfying business and not just a fruit basket business, that's when sales went through the roof. And also helped with employee morale, because my employees could care less about making baskets, but putting smiles on people's faces, helping the woman say yes when a guy proposes using our chocolate-covered strawberries, being involved in special occasions, that increased their intrinsic motivation because they were part of something special. So here's my question for you, and I'd like a few of you to raise your hand and respond. What business at IHOP are you really in? And the answer is emotional. What business are you really in? I'd like to hear from a few of you. At IHOP, and don't say the pancake business. It's something that's emotional need. What business are you really in at IHOP? People. Okay, yes. The courtesy business. Thank you, sir. Yes. Love on a plate business. Hospitality business. The people business. Yes. Psychology business. Yeah, especially with your employees. You're right. Yes. You're in the experience business. Yeah. See, Bob doesn't get this. Bob would say he's selling pancakes, that he's turning tables, that he's just chasing profit. He doesn't understand the big picture. Anna understands there's a human element to the business. It starts with how she thinks, and it's how you should think. The takeaways I want for you are this: to replicate Anna's recipe, first by embracing wealthy franchisee thinking. That means being resilient, focusing not just on solving problems, but on coping, on keeping your head clear, defying your mental heckler, and making sure that you are continuously improving every aspect of your business. Then, to make sure that you have wealthy franchisee leadership. We are trying to influence people with logic, credibility, and especially with emotion. That you don't just rely on extrinsic motivators, but intrinsic motivators as well, lighting the fires and keeping them lit within your employees and not just under them. And finally, and most importantly, that you're not in the business of serving customers. It's turning your customers into repeat customers by giving them an experience that elevates them emotionally. That is what's going to bring them back.